Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel, Alignment Coaching. My name is Haris and I support people living a life that is in alignment with their true self and their soul's purpose. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to overcome the ego backlash. And the reason that I'm doing this video is because I feel like I am now into it. So it's something that I'm currently experiencing myself, and I feel like I also slowly are moving out of it. And I start to see more and more clearly about what is happening on for lack of a better word, on an energetic level when this ego backlash kicks in. Now, before I go into sharing with you the three tools that you can apply in order to overcome this ego backlash, I just want to briefly explain what it actually is, or what is meant with the ego backlash. So imagine, if you will, that there is a force inside you, inside us, in our human mind, body, spirit complex, if you will, that is it's like a magnet. It always tries to pull us back to the status quo, to the way things are, or to the old self, maybe, if you will. So whenever we are making a change in our life, whether that's a more superficial change, like changing our style, the way we dress, or maybe just maybe we stop being friends with this one person, or when we make the more significant, like fundamental change, like if we really attempt like deep transformations and a radical change in our career, perhaps. So the bigger the change, the harder this ego backlash will be, because what essentially happens when we confirm to our system, to our being, we are going to do this, and we make this change, we make ourselves ready, we step into our power and we start going for it, then at some point you will notice that there is this force that that pulls us back, and there we find ourselves again with in the dysfunctional patterns. Maybe it's we start eating unhealthy again, or we go back to this ex-partner that is abusive, or we get into the same thinking patterns, like again believing that we can't do it, or the fears, or we start feeling miserable, and we don't get it because we feel like what's going on. I just feel so amazing and so empowered, and things were going great, and what's happening now? So this can be quite confusing, and it can feel like a regression even. And so it really helps to understand that it's a very human, natural, automatic response that really happens to everyone. Now, of course, to different degrees, and there are us who are more conscious of this process and therefore have a less harder time to get through it, but it doesn't feel good, and it's definitely not easy always to get through it. So just know that it doesn't mean that this is actually you regressing, or that it's some kind of sign that you shouldn't pursue the change you wish for yourself. So the first thing that I want to share with you is just to accept that this is part of the process. This is actually a good sign. You can see it even as a kind of safety switch. You know, like the safety switch on a gun, like when you're about to shoot, you can't shoot just right away. There is this safety switch, like if it's asking, hey, are you sure you're going to do this? And so you have the opportunity to confirm to yourself, to your universe, yes, we're actually going to execute this change. This is kind of how the ego backlash works as well. So we go for it, but then the universe, if you will, is asking us to confirm, like, are we really going to step into this? Are we really going to execute this change? So it's kind of like a safety switch. It's for your own safety. And the second thing, or the second tool that I want to share with you is to stop projecting limiting beliefs onto the experience of the ego backlash. It's very easy when we drop back to the old habits to start thinking as if it wasn't meant to be, to see it as a failure, to see it as a sign of incapability or weakness maybe even. And that is all not true. It's not a regression. Unless we believe those limiting thoughts and we go like, yeah, this is really true. This is a sign I'm not ready for this or whatever. And so when we go believing into this, we actually start creating this experience for us, and we will not feel won't feel empowered to actually pull through, and then we create this experience of regression. But it's actually not the case. It's just us believing it. So. And the third thing is to recenter yourself and change priorities. You may notice that maybe in those periods where you start to feel like things are not going as effortless or don't flow as you were used to it, or used to them to flow, that you might have the tendency to start meditating even harder, or to do all these self-inquiries, or to put even more action into into the work, so that you create the success in whatever aspect of your life that is. And you may notice that it doesn't actually work. As a matter of fact, it often backfires on us. So it really helps to kind of step away from things. Not from all things. I'm not saying stop everything, but maybe it's good to maybe not meditate as much for a period of time, or to maybe focus on, in general, on the inner transformational process as deeply. Maybe we're not ready yet for that particular thing. Maybe it's our higher self wanting us to understand something else first. So find a way to recenter yourself again. And so don't go pushing too far, to the extent that it feels like you're forcing things, and it's actually not bringing you any further, even though you put all this action to it. But also don't stop and give up. But really see how can you recenter yourself? What is needed for you to come to more clarity on which thoughts and which belief systems are driving you. Maybe you need to create a stronger support system for yourself. Maybe with the help of a life coach, or maybe the way you are meditating, or the way your lifestyle is in terms of your diet and moving, is not conducive to your energy that it now needs to go to. So see which priorities need to change, and that it's okay to back off from certain projects or certain certain ways or tools of transformation. Not for the not so that you give up, but for the purpose of actually going back, centering yourself, and starting to see more clearly again on what is in alignment for you and what isn't. Right. So I hope this was helpful, my friends. If you wish to talk about how you can deal with your ego backlash, then you can sign up for a free consultation with me by clicking the link down in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Namaste.